The Cathedral of Our Lady of Munich, known as the Frauenkirche, is not only the largest church in the Bavarian capital, but also an icon of its cultural heritage. This majestic structure, built in the 15th century, exemplifies late Gothic architecture with its imposing towers and distinctive onion-shaped domes that dominate Munich's skyline. Beyond its impressive size, the cathedral is a repository of history and art. Its interior houses treasures like the magnificent altar of St. Andrew and original stained glass windows that narrate biblical stories with vivid colors and intricate details. These features make the Frauenkirche a must-see destination not only for the devout but also for scholars and tourists fascinated by the city's rich historical and spiritual tapestry. More than an architectural marvel, the cathedral is a lasting testament to Munich's resilience and spirit, symbolizing the ongoing intersection between past and present in one of Germany's most vibrant cultural centers. Inside the cathedral, there is an element that holds a truly dark story, an impression left by the greatest adversary of God, the Church, and humanity, the Devil's footprint. If true, this cathedral, affectionately called Frauenkirche by the Germans, was built in 1498 on the remains of an ancient Romanesque church from the 10th century. The main figure responsible for its construction was Jörg von Halsbach, a central figure in this account that we will explore today. Before we delve deeper into this enigma, it is important to talk a little about Munich. With a history stretching back to 1150, Munich has been the scene of countless significant events. The city, with its strong Catholic roots, was notable for tenaciously resisting the Protestant Reformation in the 16th century, becoming a center of political controversy during the tumultuous 30 Years' War. Despite occupation by Swedish Protestant troops, Munich escaped the devastating physical consequences that affected many other cities. Moving on, the impressive cathedral, with its Gothic style, measures approximately 109 meters long by 40 meters wide and took 57 years to complete, with Jörg von Halsbach supervising the work for 20 years, from 1468 to 1488. The exterior of the cathedral, made of red bricks, has a modest appearance that contrasts harmoniously with its iconic green domes. Despite suffering significant damage during the Second World War, the cathedral still holds some of its most valuable treasures, such as the altar of St. Andrew, some original stained glass windows, and the tomb of Louis IV of Bavaria. Furthermore, it houses a rich art collection that spans from the 14th to the 18th century. Yet the greatest mystery of this church is not readily apparent. This is its oldest enigma, the Devil's footprint, a mark on the floor of the cathedral that gave rise to a fascinating legend. According to the narrative passed down through generations, architect Halsbach feared that construction could be delayed or interrupted by work accidents which were common at the time. With the absence of unions and protective equipment, Halsbach feared injuries among his workers. In an audacious move, Halsbach would have made a pact with the devil. His diabolical plan was put into practice from the first day of construction. According to legend, he performed a ritual to summon the Dark Lord in his office. When the devil appeared, Halsbach proposed a deal. "If you do not interfere in my work, I will build a cathedral without windows. If, in the end, there is only one window, my soul will be yours." The devil, intrigued and challenged, accepted the deal. Inexplicably, during the next 20 years of construction, everything went perfectly without interruptions. The weather cooperated, tools were not a problem, and the workers worked happily and productively. Could this luck have been the result of supernatural intervention? When the cathedral was almost finished, the devil returned to check whether the architect had fulfilled his end of the bargain. When observing the interior, from his point of view, he did not see any windows, so he was satisfied and left. However, he did not count on the ingenuity of Halsbach, who strategically hid the windows behind 22 columns that only allowed views of the windows from specific angles. Days later, the devil decided to revisit the church. As he stopped in front of the cathedral on a full moon night, He saw the reflection of the moon passing through the windows he believed to be non-existent. Realizing his mistake, he tried to enter the church to destroy it. However, upon stepping onto the sacred ground, he was immediately burned, leaving eternal evidence of his wrath. There is an alternative version where the devil deliberately leaves the mark on the ground as a sign of revenge for being deceived. Which of these versions do you believe to be true? Participate in the comments.